Dudes and dudettes of YouTube land, it's Frank with What's the Point EDC. It's 2024. Thank God 2023 is in the rear view. But 2023 did produce a lot of really fire knives. I'm going to show my top 10 favorite pocket knives that dropped in 2023, both budget and premium. But you got to say there's at least one runner-up. This is it right here. The Kaiser Towser K. Is it a good knife? Oh, it is straight up fire. Look at that action on it. Oh, 154 cm blade steel. Reverse flick is great. Thumb flick is great. You can slow roll it. It's a sexy knife. Really nice micarta scales that are contoured. Nice tall flat ground 154 cm blade with the sheep's foot profile. Nice plunge grind and sharpening choil. Access to the lock is so good. Reversible deep carry pocket clip that you can drop up or down depending on the height you want to carry it. Very good knife. The action is so good. Drop shut as anything. But I can't have it on the list simply because the detent ball fell out in under 24 hours of owning it. Fell out. I lost it. I had to get it replaced. And yeah, so this knife can't make the top 10 folding knives made in 2023. It is the runner-up. Let's keep this thing going, you guys. Hopefully I put this in screen because honestly, I can't see where I'm putting it. First one up, in no particular order at all. Bestech Glock. Fire knife, 14C28N, flat ground blade with a nice thick reinforced tip. It is thin behind the edge and it is slicey and it came hellaciously sharp. Good jimping on the spine. This thumb disc for deployment acts as an actual like a landing spot for your finger. It's so good. No matter how you hold the knife, that little thumb disc really works. Action is fire, button lock, bearings, all that good stuff. It is so good. I spine whack tested it. It passed the spine whack test. Nice frag pattern G10 scales. Deep carry pocket clip that is in an odd looking place, but man, it carries so good and it doesn't affect the grip at all. I really dig this knife. It's 14C, so you guys know I'm loving it. Bestech has a lot of fire on their budget knives. Okay, let's go to the next one. How about the Kubi Bravo 1, designed by Mikkel Williamson? Ooh, look at that chunker. AUS 10 blade steel. We got this Tanto blade with a dual grind, hollow grind here, flat grind at the tip, dual fuller in it. Nice, thick, chunky, hard use blade right here. 4 millimeters of awesomeness. G-Mascus scales. I don't know if that's G-Mascus or G10 backspacer, but it is geared so you get a little traction on it. Very cool design. I really like this. Liner lock design, runs on bearings. The action is crazy on this thing. This hefty knife. Listen to the sound this thing makes. So fire, right? Deep carry pocket clip. It works great. It's not inset, but the screws are, so that's good. You can slow roll it like this. You can use the flipper tab for it. You can use the fullers. So there are two deployment methods with this. You have the fuller flick and the flipper tab itself. That has great jimping and it works very well. This is a stout knife. Mikkel Williamson does them up, man. I really dig his design and I like how the blade looks like that. Really good. It's a good knife right here. Definitely worth every single penny. I hear that these are kind of rare with the G-Mascus. That's what multiple people have told me, but I don't know. Okay, on to the next one, y'all. The Sencut Glide Strike. $41 of freaking awesomeness. 9CR18 MOV steel. Clip point blade that's got a flat grind on it. Look at the action. That is so good. Only one deployment method, but fire. Listen to that thing snapping and listen. Yeah, sounds good, doesn't it? It's really good, and it's a big knife. Nice forward finger choil jumping on the spine of the blade, swedged up. Nice micarta right here. Here's one thing I want to talk about. This knife is so lightweight. It's got that satin finish, so you know it's going to be a fingerprint magnet. Sorry about them fingerprints. This is such a lightweight knife. It's so lightweight, it's shockingly lightweight. Like, this is a solid $41 knife. Deep carry pocket clip that is reversible, tip up carry. Nice barrel spacers in here. You got a spacer for your lanyard. So if you're a doodad type of dude, you are good to go. Shout out to the Bearded Doom. Nice bearings on it. It just works excellent. There's a very well-rounded knife. It is a good user knife, and it's just a good, fun fidget knife as well. 41 bucks, Sencut Glide Strike. Okay, on to a Dirk Pinkerton design, the Concept Main Street. Golly. Now, this didn't come out in 2023, but the crossbar lock version did. So it originally was a liner lock, which was absolutely fire itself, but it wasn't fire enough that I had to go out and get it. When I seen this come out with the G Mascus scales, black and red, and the crossbar lock, I was like, yeah, I gotta get this. Because the Wharncliffe blade shape is like, it's just, with this handle profile, it works so good. You know, Dirk Pinkerton really did a good job with this one. Nice flat grind on this bad boy, 154 cm. Now, you only have one deployment method unless you want to call the actual crossbar deployment. Same thing goes for the button lock on the Best Tech lock. You can use gravity for that, but it's just one deployment method with thumb studs only, but it is fire. Listen to the sounds this makes. So cool. Every way you flick it, it's good. Bearings on this thing, good knife. Deep carry pocket clip. It's not reversible, but it doesn't really matter to me because that doesn't affect me. Though this is a very, very ambidextrous knife. So unfortunately, lefties, that does kind of suck for you guys now that I think about this, because this is such a fire knife and this would literally meet every expectation for a lefty. But the pocket clip. Look how that pocket clip's done too. That's a really nice looking pocket clip. And I like how they like weathered it and gave it a worn look. There's jimping here. So when you're gripping, you get a little extra on there. That jimping on the spine of the knife really has no actual effect, but it looks good. And golly, this is such a fire knife. Concept Main Street with the crossbar lock, designed by Dirk Pinkerton. Fire. Okay, we got us 5 more, y'all. Oh man, look at that. The CMB Made Knives Predator V2. Now, the Predator didn't come out in 2023, but the Predator V2 did. And the V2 is micarta scales and 14C. It was originally D2 and G10. I don't know if they had a micarta version at the time for the D2 blade steel, but I know this is the micarta and 14C that came out in 2023. So fire. This knife was so fire, I had to order it twice. I ordered it one time in Edgeworks, and it sold before I even got a chance to buy it, and they ordered it again for me, and I got it the second that it came in. It's so good. These nice spear point, like leaf-shaped blades, they're just my jam for real. And 14C 28N, I really like that steel. It's really good. This thing took a nasty edge. It is wicked sharp. I feel like I got one side a little bit better than the other, but you guys know there's learning curves with everything. It's fire. Deep carry pocket clip that is set. The screws aren't inset, but it is reversible. So that's a big plus, because this is a very ambidextrous knife. Crossbar locks usually are. You know, they got the thumb studs for deployment, so there's only one deployment method, but that's totally fine. I'm really digging the ergos on this knife. It's a very good hard use knife. I found out about this knife through Jared with Neves Knives. I knew I had to have it the second I seen it. Nice micarta backspacer on it. This is a very good knife. It's a seriously tough, serious, hard-working knife. You can get a lot done with this right here. CMB Made Knives Predator V2. Straight up fire. Okay, here we go. Let's get a Civivi going on in here. Yeah, you know this was going to be on a list. There's no way I was going to make a best pocket knives of 2023 without putting the Civivi Vision FG in that. It's not going to happen. It is so good. This is so close to being an actually perfect knife. The only thing that's stopping it is this pocket clip. For some people, it doesn't bother them, but for me, smacking that camera again, you guys know how I do it. I don't edit nothing. You guys get it raw. Look at what it does to my hand immediately. See that dentation? Yeah, that's from the pocket clip, and that hurts. Micarta scales, really nice. I love these speed holes, as people call them. I love them. Nice reversible deep carry pocket clip right here. I think that it should just be a little longer, or to just, matter of fact, it would be best if it was centered, or just give us a milled titanium clip. That's what I am going to do. I just haven't done it for whatever reason. It's got the super lock on it. Snex designed this, and Snex designed the lock, and it is a awesome lock. It's super strong, hence the name Super Lock. Super fidgety. Listen to this. Yes. You know that sounds good and sounds addictive. It's a very cool lock. It's an awesome knife. N690 blade steel, flat ground blade. I'm not sure exactly what to call this blade shape. I don't know. Warncliffe, it's something. I don't know what it is. Ain't no sheep's foot or anything, but it's fire and it works good. It cuts good. It slices good. It performs excellent. Although I did have to take and customize this. I've writ dyed the scales, and when I writ dyed the scales, I figured out what the problem was with my lock. I was having incredible lock stick, and I noticed that my scales just weren't lined up properly, and that was due to extra material from when they cut in to inset the holes for the screws. They didn't remove all the micarta out of there, but I did that, and I sanded on the tang of the blade and on the lock face. It is so good now. Lockup is amazing. Action is amazing. It is really freaking good. The Civivi Vision FG, I can't recommend it enough. And it's thin, boy. It is nice and thin. Get it for real. Highly recommendable knife. Definitely one for the books. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that CJRB Pyrite. Now, this didn't come out in 2023. This actually came out before 2023, but the Warncliffe blade shape came out in 2023. Now, if I had the XL version, I would say that would be the best version in my opinion. Now, this is just my opinion, and this is just the knives that I personally have owned. That's it. I can't speak for knives that I haven't owned. I can only speak for what I have owned, and it's just my opinion. We all got opinions, and we know how that saying goes. Yes, sir. CJRB Pyrite. AR RPM 9 blade steel. That is awesome on a budget knife. A powder steel for a budget knife. That's great. Warncliffe blade shape. You have one deployment method. It's got the deployment hole in the blade. It is so good, so snappy. It's clacky, it's loud, and it's fun to play with. It works any way you want to do it. Slow roll it. It just works. Stainless steel scales. They look really good. It matches the blade, so I really like that. But one thing I do like about it is you feel the heft of the knife in your hand, but it's not too heavy because they milled the scales out really nice. It's nice and skeletonized in there, so it adds with the, keeping weight out of the knife a little bit. Deep carry pocket clip is reversible, runs on bearings, button lock action's awesome. It doesn't fail the spine whack test. It's a good knife, and the XL version is even better. I'm telling you guys, I love how it's one fluid finish the entire way. Now, if this was the titanium version, which I could have had, it wouldn't have been the same color as the blade and as the clip. They wouldn't have all been one fluid matching color. So I was like, you know what? The budget version is it. That's it. The CJRB Pyrite. Okay, now, we got to put another Civivi on there. You guys didn't think I wasn't going to put the Civivi Boltaire on this list now, would you? Huh. 14C28N, baby. This is a awesome blade. I'm not the biggest Tanto guy, but damn if it doesn't work and work good. It's got a dual grind on it, nice thin grind on the straight. The tip's a little more reinforced. We got multiple grinds going on here. Very pointy. You can use both tips as a tip. That secondary tip cuts cardboard like a champ. G10 scales that are super textured. It is extremely grippy. I really like this knife right here. These lines don't really add in any traction or anything, I don't think, personally, but they just look cool. Okay, so now, after all the good, I got to point out the bad, but the good's still going. Deep carry reversible pocket clip. Check this out. Bang, inset screws and inset pocket clip. That's how it's freaking done. I'm not the biggest fan on this clip, but what I will say is it works good. It doesn't bother my hand. The clip matches the liners match the blade. This is a fire freaking knife. Bearings on it, the action's crazy. Listen to this thing. Okay, that right there is an example of awesome sound right there. Flipper tab works good. It's got really good jimping on it. I just like how it looks like the hammer of a pew-pew. This is such a good knife. Barrel spacers in it. We got the lanyard hole, the lanyard spacer in there. Oh, man, this is such a fire knife. Now, the only thing I'll say that's negative about this knife, only one thing, and that's just in my opinion, some people don't mind it. I need a little bit more lock access on this. Just a little bit more. It's not horrible. It's not like it's not going to work or you're going to have some big issue or anything. It's just not as accessible as I would like it to be. But you can't take anything away from this knife. It's so good. It's under like $70, man. big knife. It's a huge knife. Look, check that out. Look how big this thing is. It's a freaking horse, Jack. Now, on to the premium knives. I have 2 premium knives, okay? You already knew I was going to do this one right here. The Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight Salt Series and Magna Cut. The new one, y'all. Magna Cut steel. I mean, it's the same thing as the other ones, just with Magna Cut and one more big perk. Bow, you see that right there. You can take these liners apart. I mean, you can take the scales apart and do a scale swap, which I will do with Original Goat here as soon as they drop the scales that they have coming. Ball bearing lock. So good. Magna Cut steel with the full flat grind and that leaf shape, like spear pointy-ish type of blade. Jimping on the spine, it's like a thumb ramp. Jimping in here on the choil. This is just an ergonomic hand melting knife. This is a perfect knife in my opinion. Perfect. This is just my opinion. I love the wire pocket clip. I love how they got this copolymer glass reinforced nylon deal. But it's the fact that they angle all these grooves that they put in there in different ways. So no matter which way your hand is pushing, pulling, up, down, left, right, forward, backward, all them type of ways, you're not going to have an issue. And it's just going to grip so good. And this is just a knife-fitting hand. I mean, a hand-fitting knife. What was I saying, y'all? Got the hole in the blade for deployment. So there's only one deployment method unless you want to use the actual lock, you know, with gravity. It's so good. This is running on washers. This is such a good knife. Back spacer on it. Nice steel in the back right here. It's fire. Okay, y'all. Spyderco Manix 2 Lightweight Salt Series and Magna Cut. Now, what's going to be the last knife, okay? Where am I going to put that knife? I'm just going to put that knife straight up the middle. Why not? This is also a premium knife, y'all. This is the one that takes the cake. Are you guys ready? It's the one that takes the cake, in my opinion. Okay, so it's probably not going to fit very good, but it doesn't matter. You know why? Because this knife is so badass. Yeah, Microtech Annex with the full DLC. Y'all ready for this? Oh, yeah. That is absolutely fire, y'all. Microtech Annex, full DLC. So, my favorite thing about this knife, since it's done in full DLC, was the fact that the blade doesn't have that crazy billboarding that Microtech loves to put on their blades. It's just that little logo right here and that little logo right there. Morpheone Customs and the Microtech logo. That's it. This knife is a front flipper, and it front flips so good. I wish I wasn't underneath this camera so I could actually show you guys what's going on. Oh, it's so nice. M390 blade, flat ground, nice and thin behind the edge. Fullers on both sides. I really like how the entire blade is crowned, looking good, and that tip is reinforced like that and has just that good shape. And then you got really good jimping right here. It doesn't look like much, but it is very effective. Good jimping there, and then this is very aggressive jimping right here. This is definitely a tactical knife, definitely a hard use knife, no doubt about it. It's so fire. Sharpening is done right. Plunge grind is done right. Titanium scales. It's not titanium scales. It's a total one-piece construction because it's an integral. I don't know how you want to say it. Say it how you want, but that's what it is. One whole freaking piece of milled out titanium right here. Frame lock. It's so fire. Yeah, this is so good. This is amazing craftsmanship. Cross-cut carbon fiber. Look at that. So in the sun, this thing dances. It really does. It has Microtech's proprietary hardware that you got to get the tool for. Pocket clip is the only negative on this. This pocket clip looks a freaking amazing. This is a total space knife in my opinion. Look at that pocket clip. It's so good, but it's so stiff. And I have a hard time just like using it in some jeans, but that's no real big issue. You know, I just got to take my finger and just maybe move it a little bit when I go to put it in my pocket. It's no big deal. Runs on bearings, crazy bearings too, by the way. I would love to show you guys what them bearings look like. And actually, in fact, I believe that on my Instagram page, you can see a picture of the inside of this knife and what it looks like taken apart. And if not, maybe I'll just take it apart one day and just show you guys. I got to thread lock it anyway, so I'll probably do that for you. This is ultimate. Just machined out, nice milling. There's no transition right here in the carbon fiber and the titanium where it's inlaid. So good, you guys. Microtech Annex with the full DLC. Such a fire knife. Right here is my top 10 pocket knives, budget and premium of 2023, y'all. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. I hope everybody has a great year. I wish the best for everybody, seriously. And I appreciate each and every single one of you who support the channel. Your views, your comments, your likes, your shares, it all means a lot to me. Fist bump on that, and I mean it so much. So, I'm going to get out of here, but you know I got to end it right. If you're an addict, never quit quitting. Stay strong and live long. If you're struggling with bad thoughts, reach out and talk to somebody, because it is okay to talk. Never quit quitting and never give up. You know the motto, y'all. Take it easy and stay greasy. Microtech Annex, best knife, in my opinion, in the collection to come out in 2023, y'all. You know what it is. Peace.